Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm very happy to have you here, guys. Today's video will be a very quick one. I just want to quickly share my thoughts on a fragrance from the house of Khadlaj. The fragrance is called ROSE COUTURE and this is an inspiration of Delina Exclusif. Now I feel like this is one of the first few fragrances that I have tried from this house. So yes, I want to let you know how this one smells like, how it compares to one of my favorite fragrances that are supposed to be in the same scent family as Delina, the Club de Nuit White Imperiale from Armaf. Oh my god, what a long name. So yes, I want to let you know how this one is on its own and how it compares to the other fragrances. So without further ado, let's just begin. Oh, but before I start, please, if you have tried this fragrance, let me know what you think about this fragrance. Let me know if you enjoy it. Let me know how do you find it compares to the OG Delina. I would love to hear your feedback on the fragrance. Now, this fragrance, if you are based in Europe, you can find it on Dubai Collection. You can find 2 ml, 5 ml, 10 ml samples or decants. So feel free to check out the website. I will leave it down below. But yeah, now this fragrance, I have to say it has a beautiful bottle with a beautiful presentation. So without further ado, let's just begin. I will actually apply this one on my skin. Right from the start, this smells so similar to the one from Armaf. It does have its differences, but I will touch on the comparison part a bit later. But this one basically, this one opens up with the same sweet pink rose, but I feel like what it doesn't have that other fragrances in this same scent family have, it doesn't have that tart feel, and it also doesn't have that almost like sweet sour bergamot feel that a lot of other fragrances in the same scent family have. So I feel like overall it's the sweetest and the most creamiest. Basically this one to me smells like a sweet pink rose that's very full, that's very dense, with something that to my nose legit smells like a warm melted mango vanilla ice cream. So you have the creaminess, you have a slight creamy tropical feel, you have a slight creamy vanillic feel, and I feel like how these two play here in this fragrance, it results in something that legit smells like a melted ice cream with mango and vanilla, you know, so it smells delicious. It feels very feminine, very delicate, very inviting, very playful at the same time, a little bit innocent here and there, you know, but it's a beautiful fragrance, you guys. I have to say I love this DNA, and between, I feel like, even though I own neither of the two Delinas, but between the two, I would say that the Exclusif is definitely my cup of tea. You don't have that, I mean, you do have a little bit of that raw greenness, but you don't have it as much. Here, I feel like, again, you have just a little bit of this like freshly cut rose stem feel, but it adds more freshness and a slight green fresh feel, but definitely not as pronounced as all the other fragrances in the same scent family. I feel like amongst all these fragrances, this one is the sweetest, the creamiest, the most easy to enjoy, I feel like, and the safest to blind buy, because yeah, legit, you have the sweetness and the creaminess and the fruitiness with the vanilla, a slight musky feel as well. It does have a slight overall freshness to it in a sense, but it's not your blue freshy, it's not your citrusy type of freshness. It's more like a slight musky freshness combined with that, like a little bit like a pinch of that freshly cut stem, you know, that like slight raw green feel, but again, nothing too much. So yes, it's a beautiful fragrance. Yeah, it's a beautiful fragrance, and as it stays on my skin, it gets even warmer as it starts to open up. You lose let's just say 10 to 15 minutes in, even though, let's just say, to begin with, that like freshly cut flower stem, that nuance wasn't so pronounced, but as this one starts to develop on your skin, you lose it completely. The rose gets even more sweet. Imagine you have, like I've mentioned, lots of vanilla mango ice cream, melted, warm. It's almost like it has sit under the sun in a sense, you know, so it's very warm with sweet pink roses in the background. I get no peonies. This is not as floral forward as other fragrances, you know. This is more creamy, more fruity, more vanilla, more sweet, I would say. I love the creaminess of this fragrance, those gourmand nuances. I feel like this is definitely more gourmand leaning than the other fragrances inspired by Delina Exclusif, but it is such a beautiful take. To me, this is the kind of fragrance that you could wear all year round, daytime, nighttime, on its own, layered, I don't know, with so many different outfits in so many different occasions. I feel like it's a very versatile fragrance to have in your collection. It's that type of like grab and go fragrance, when you want something that feels very feminine, that feels very dainty, that feels a little bit playful, a little bit sweet, you know, that type of energy. So let's move on to the comparison part of the video. Now, to me, these two fragrances are cousins, but I don't want to say they're sisters, you know, because look, I do notice there are differences, you know. It's not like I cannot tell which one is which. Basically, the one from Armaf, I feel like overall, it's a bit more complex. You have more things there, let's just say. It's a bit more multifaceted in a way, and also it feels much more vibrant, you know, because in the opening, even though they share, let's just say, the same DNA, basically that one from Armaf as well, it's a sweet pink rose. There I also get a slight delicate floral touch from the peonies, but I get the same like melted mango vanilla ice cream. So you have the same creamy tropical fruity feel, you have the same creamy vanillic feel, but that one also in the opening has a lot of citruses. I mean, not a lot of citruses, like one type of citrus, and that's bergamot to my nose, but you have lots of it. It's almost like I told you in the review that I did for it, imagine you have a bowl, you know, with like melted mango vanilla ice cream. You put there some rose, like some pink rose petals, some peony petals, and then you pour some freshly squeezed bergamot juice that you have sweetened it up with sugar, but you pour lots of it on top, you know, because in the opening you get lots of the citrus feel. It's not like your acidic, refreshing citrus, it's more that like sweet and sour bergamot juice type of citrus, but it feels slightly cold, and it makes overall the opening feel more vivid, more vibrant, more multifaceted in a sense, whereas in this one from Khadlaj you don't have the citrus feel. Yeah, also you guys, as the one from Armaf starts to develop on your skin, I feel like that one is a tad more strong, and like I've said, it's a bit more complex, you know, you have more things there. As it develops, you also get this, you get it more in the dry down, I feel like, but you start to get this soft, almost like dry, woody, slightly incensey nuance. So that one overall, it's a bit more complex, it's a bit heavier as well. You have the incense feel there, you have the citrus feel in the opening. To me, something that it's not that I don't like, but the thing is, when I purchased, first I purchased a sample of the one from Armaf. Loved it, loved it. Then I purchased a full bottle. You need to let that one macerate, because I'm telling you, first few times I tried it, when I oversprayed it, I feel like the citrusy part was almost coming off as astringent in the opening, like in the first 15 minutes. If you overspray it, like if you do too many sprays of it, let's just say, it comes off slightly astringent. So even though that one, to me, I don't find it challenging, but some people told me that they find the citrus part a little bit too challenging, and also the slight incense nuance in the background a little bit too challenging. Look, I love incense, okay? I love the smell of incense in fragrances, I love the smell of resins, I love the smell of balsam, so for me that slight touch of incense you have there, it's nothing too much, you know, it's very easy to enjoy for me, but I can see why for some people it might be too much. And I feel like in this case, this one from Khadlaj, it will be a better alternative for you if you still want something that, let's just say, follows the same scent DNA as Delina Exclusive, but you don't want an overly pronounced citrus nuance, and you don't want that like soft, woody, incensey feel, then you will enjoy this one, because I'm telling you, this one legit takes the gourmand note. And yeah, that's about that, you know, it takes the gourmand notes and it makes it overall feel much more sweet, much more delicate, much more innocent, much more feminine, much more gourmand overall, you know, without any nuances that some might find them a little bit too challenging. So as you guys, these were pretty much my thoughts about this fragrance. Performance-wise, is decent, nothing out of this world, you know. I think the one from Armaf performs a little bit better, but that might be as well because, let's just say, it packs a punch more than this one does in the opening, because I told you that one feels overall much more vibrant because of all the other nuances that play there, you know, whereas this one, it's a bit more muted, a bit more mellow, a bit closer to the skin. But honestly, again, if you want something in the same scent family, I feel like this is an amazing alternative. This is, to me, honestly, from what I have tried, which are all these fragrances, this is the safest one to blind buy. This is the safest one to wear. This legit has nothing challenging about it, you know. It doesn't have that raw freshly cut flower stem, you know, with the greenness that other ones have. It doesn't have the sweet sour citrus feel, it doesn't have the incense, it just has the more gourmand leaning notes. This is pretty much everything I wanted to say about it. I do think it smells very beautiful. I do enjoy how it smells. Is it redundant to have these two in your collection? In my opinion, unless you're a die-hard fan of Delina Exclusive, it is redundant to have both, because I'm telling you, they meet somewhere, you know. They definitely have a very common, like not very common, like a very similar DNA, but then that one from Armaf has other notes thrown in the mix, and it's overall a bit more strong, whereas this one is a bit more easy to enjoy, and it's a bit more mellow, it's a bit more closer to the skin, and it's more gourmand leaning, let's just say, you know. But it is, I feel like honestly it is a little bit redundant to have both, unless of course that's what you want to, then by all means have both, you know. So thank you so much for watching, you guys. This is everything I wanted to say about this fragrance. If you have tried it, I would love to hear your feedback on the fragrance. How do you feel about this fragrance? Also, if you have any recommendations from Khadlaj, let me know. I am trying now another fragrance, a musky one. I will insert the photo here. Beautiful fragrance if you're into masks, especially those like crisp, clean white masks, you know. But yeah, I will mention that fragrance in a future video as well. So yes, like I said, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget you can follow me on Instagram. Here is my handle. If you want to get samples and decants of this one, I will leave the link to Dubai collection in the description box down below. So yes, hopefully I will see you in my next video. But until then, thank you so much for watching, and I want to wish you an amazing day wherever you are. Bye guys.